Hey everyone, Eric here on Alchemy with Zero Phase, and I wanted to just take some time to have a little fun, kind of showing off my prompt generator. We're going to generate some cool prompts, show you how some cool techniques you can do with it, and hopefully create some cool looking art. So, as you know, the last video I did is just kind of my announcement video for the GPT prompt generator I did, and in the video I said that it didn't work very well with 3.5. It actually does. I guess OpenAI updates their things periodically and improves the AI's ability to understand things, and so what I will probably end up doing here is going through and showing you some of the differences between using my prompt generator with 3.5 versus 4.0 ChatGPT. We're starting off with the 4.0, and we're going to show you, I'll point out some of the subtle differences between the two. It works great with 3.5. I was actually very surprised because it had been a long time since I've tried it. And just on a hunch, I tried it, and the results it gives are actually usable. They're great, and they generate great images. So let's just start off with this. We're going to start off simple. I want to see I don't know. Let's go with something a little abstract. Let's do an abstract forest scene. But I want to do two prompts. So we're going to say two prompts of a dark abstract forest with highly angular geometric shapes, shadows. Maybe put in there like some excuse me, some odd stuff like spatial space warping, and splash style. This should be interesting. With one negative prompt at the end. All right, so what we're asking it to do, I want it to generate two different prompts, but only one negative prompt, okay? So we're gonna hit that, let it start generating. Again, it's designed so that the first part of the prompt will almost always be this best quality masterpiece detailed, and sometimes the numbers will change on it, sometimes not. So, as you can see, what it does is it gives you this abstract forest, angular geometric shapes, deep shadows. That's kind of what I put in. Because I kind of specified something unique, space warping. So space warping, I put in highlight. Splash style, intricate silhouettes, mysterious, because it kind of gets the theme. It understands the idea you're trying to go with and adds some stuff in that I wouldn't have even thought about. Even the AMC Escher and Picasso influences. So we're going to run with that and just kind of see what that does. I may end up removing the artist styles afterwards, but let's go ahead and grab that and run with it and just see what it does. We're also going to grab the negative prompt that it came up with. Okay, it is set to be wide angle. I'm going to go ahead and put this at 1200, and then we're going to specify 16 by 9. We'll render 4 images, and just increase that. Since this is going to be a little abstract, I like to give the AI a little bit more freedom to kind of play with it with the config scale. So we're going to just do that. Let's see what it comes up with. We're not going to use any of my styles on this. We're going to go ahead and run with the negative prompt that it gave just to see what it does. Okay, so it's done rendering, and wow, these are really cool. Look at this. It did a really nice blend of the forest, but using very angular geometric shapes. I love the coloring too. Wow. So they did a pretty good job with that one. It gives you kind of a creepy look. You know, you got these shadows in the background, and kind of a path leading forward. And if I'm not mistaken, that looks like a person right there. That's pretty cool. I think I like that one the best. I'm going to save that one. Now let's take a look at the other one that it came up with. We're just replacing the positive prompt. We're going to do 4 renderings with this one as well. I might even rerun them again without the artist reference, because I like to see what the AI does by itself based off the model I'm using, which again is the Illuminati Diffusion. So let's just go ahead and generate these, just see what it does, and then we're going to do them both without the artist reference. Okay, it's done with that, and these are very weird. Something you might see in some high-end gallery, art gallery somewhere. Oh, I like that one. I love the highlighting in the back. There's some sort of a light source going on there. That one's got some realism going on with it. Yeah, I like that one. I'm going to save that one. Okay, so like I said, let's just run this without the artist reference. I like to see what it does. We're just going to do one image. That way I'll let it render so we can see what it looks like. I'm not going to pause the video or anything. It's still maintaining the abstractness. It's adding a bit more depth to it. Definitely interesting. Let's go grab the other one. We'll do the other one without the artist reference here as well. So we're going to get rid of the Escher and Picasso influences. Let's run that one. Yeah, similar to the other ones, but definitely remove those other influences, so you do get again more depth to it. The AI has a little more fun with it. I think it's interesting. I still feel like it's putting somebody there, which is kind of cool. Okay, let's do something else a little interesting with the prompt generator here. This is something I like doing. It can be a little fun. Okay, we're gonna do 5 prompts of 5 different nature scenes with in 5 different times of day, in 5 different seasons, with 5 different animals. Let's see. In 5 different camera angles. I love this prompt generator. I mean, I love working with the AIs. I love how intuitive they can be. You know, I'm used to using GPT. Okay, there's more and more of these AI models coming out. I get that. You know, Google has Bard. I've actually tried my prompt generator in Bard. It did not work. I've tried it with some of the local LLMs. You know, these local ones you can download and run on your own computer. And what I'm learning, and this is just fascinating to me, is that each AI is different in, you know, almost down to a personality level. And you know, because I've been working with it's going to create, I didn't specify one negative prompt, so it's going to create 5 different negative prompts. That's interesting. I'm used to using ChatGPT because that's what I've been using. I've learned how to talk to it. I've learned almost how it thinks and how it's going to respond based upon the prompts that you give it. I've used it in my business. I have a managed IT business, and I use it extensively. I'm actually developing educational material and a workshop that I'm going to be offering to my clients to help them understand how to use it better, especially now that they've come out with the plugins. So now what we can do with this, I had it generate 5 prompts. Now I'm not going to go through and generate each one individually. That's just annoying. So what we're going to do, we are going to take and grab those 5 prompts, and then we're going to come over here. We're going to wipe this out. We're going to leave this negative prompt in there. I may add one of my styles. I don't want to deal with the one negative prompt that it did, and I don't want to have it regenerate it. What we are going to do is come down to the prompts from file or text box. So here's what's fun about this. So I had it generate these 5. I want to see, just do a straight render. We're going to see what all of them look like. And this is a cool feature in Stable Diffusion. As you come down here to the script, you select that, and then you can paste this in here. And what's cool is that even though ChatGPT lists it with numbers and you copy that, it doesn't actually take the numbers. It just puts it in there, and this is exactly how the prompt input box on this requires. It requires a space between each prompt. And then what we'll do is come up here. We're only going to do, let's do 2 per prompt. And we are doing, again, these are going to be scenery shots, so I am going to render them at the same resolution. I'm not going to change that, but I am going to drop the sampling steps down. I don't think we need to be at 35, honestly. I shouldn't have even done the previous ones. I'm going to adjust my preset, so when I load this up, it defaults to 20. We don't want a positive prompt in there because we've already supplied that. I'm going to select my general prompt, negative prompt here. We're going to get rid of this because that was customized for the previous one that we did. Okay, and then that's it. So we're going to render this. Now we're going to be doing 2 per, so that's going to be 10 total images that it's going to generate. I'll pause the video and we'll come back and look at them here in just a second. So we'll get it started, and then we'll see what they look like here in just a minute. Awesome. Okay, so it's done rendering, and we're going to start off with this side. Just a couple things to note here. It is interesting when rendering deer and elk and other animals that have antlers. AI generally has a hard time. This one here, I'm surprised it did it as well as it did. You can fix this with a little inpainting. Not worried about that. But with this particular one, I love the aesthetic, the placement. How it got the legs right, which is awesome. Anytime you get the legs right on an animal, you're doing good. The next one actually turned out really well too, except it's got a third leg there coming from places of the nether region. Anyway, yeah, a little inpainting would fix that too. Yeah, so moving on. Wow. So these are gorgeous. I love this. We got Mount Fuji in the background. We got a crane, cityscape back there. Upscaling that would be wonderful. Like that would turn out really well. That one as well too. I'm not sure what it's doing with Mount Fuji there, but adding in the symbolism, pretty cool. I mean, it obviously is just gibberish, I would assume. So, but very beautiful. So, I was kind of watching this as it was generating this, and I was very surprised. AI has a really hard time with fish and other aquatic animals. I don't know if that's because there's just not enough images that have been trained into it, but this one actually turned out really well. Like, you wouldn't have to do much with this to fix it. The next one I think was even better. Like, you'd use inpaint and get rid of this fin back here, and that would look fantastic, I love the lighting. It did this rainbow thing, kind of fun, kind of an iridescent thing all over everything. The eagle ones I was watching this one was fantastic, like just absolutely beautiful. That one I'm going to keep that one. That one's just gorgeous. And the owls. Birds are another one where it has an issue with the feet, especially claw. If there's claws, this one's got a little bit of a third leg there. You could totally fix that. But this next one turned out really well. I love the silhouetting against the moon. Just beautiful. I'd get rid of this one right here. This one doesn't even need to be in there. using a little inpainting on that, we could totally get rid of that. Okay, those are some great images. I love how the prompt. So here's the thing with the prompt using ChatGPT to generate these prompts. With my prompt generator, I love it because despite I am a creative person, but my vocabulary is pretty limited, and my knowledge of artists is also very limited, and so I love relying and leaning on the AI to come up with new style, not new styles, but like being able to take what I give it and say, hey, this would look good in this particular style. Like let's take like this right here. This first one right here, where it talks about a regal stag. Like I wouldn't have used the word regal or stag. Like maybe, but come on, like I wouldn't have even used that. I would have been like a deer with antlers. And so I think by using these words, the AI, the image generator has a better time, like it may be trained better on that. And then using words like crystalline branches arching overhead. I mean, seriously, like I would not have used that. Like it got that. It's just amazing how it understands that. So again, this is why I am using this prompt generator. It takes a lot of the stress off of my shoulders of coming up with something decent. I can take these prompts and just adjust them however I need. Like I said, taking the artist reference out if I don't want the artist reference and changing the camera angle on it. But it takes the load of trying to come up with the bulk of the prompt off my shoulders. So here's something else. I'm going to do a whole nother video on this, but I want to dive into this a little bit. We're going to reset this. And I'm going to show you just real quick something fun that I've been working on using the regional prompter, okay? And how you can use my prompt generator to generate prompts for this. So the regional prompter is something that allows you to take an image, you break it up into different areas, okay? So let's set this up. I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and I'll show you what I mean. We're going to do another image, but this one, we're going to do the width 768 by, let's do a tall one. Well, characters tend to get a little weird when they're tall, so we're just going to do, I know people have a problem with me using 992, but for some reason, I found out that 992 is, so when doing prints, is a ratio when doing like canvas prints or whatever. 992 to 768, it works really well. So we're going to do that. So now down here, we're going to set this regional prompter up. So we're going to activate it. Okay, just a brief, I don't want to turn this into a whole tutorial on regional prompter, but basically what this does, it allows you to specify in specific regions of the image what you want to see in those specific regions. So you give it a general prompt, and then you give it a certain number of prompts after that that describe what's in region 1, region 2, or region 0, region 1, region 3, whatever, region 2, and allows you a lot of really cool control over an image. So we're going to leave it on horizontal. Let's see. No, I think I want vertical, and we're going to do 3 different spaces. We're going to make this pretty complex. So and then we're going to visualize it here real quick. I want to make sure that it's laid out right. So we got the top of the image. Oh, the other thing we need to make sure is come down here and specify the same dimensions of the image that we're generating, or else the coloring and whatever tends to look weird. Okay. There's a lot more advanced stuff to this. I'm still learning it. That's why I'm not going to do a tutorial on this yet. This is just the basic functionality. The divide ratio is how you're dividing the image up. Okay, so 1 means you're equally, 1 in each of these regions, since we're doing 3 regions, means it's going to be equally divided. So think of this as a percentage. So like if I didn't want as much on the top, what I would do is change this down to like 0.6, okay? And what you'll see is it shrinks down the first area to 60% of what it was before, dividing the rest of the area up between the other 2. So, but we're gonna leave it at 1, 1, 1. What that means is it's just gonna divide it up equally, okay? And then let's go generate a prompt. So using my prompt generator, we're going to come up here and I want, so this is where you get to play around and experiment with this. Give me 4 prompts describing a beautiful Russian, gosh, oh no, it's just it's not capitalized. Okay, I don't know if the thing cares, but I mean Russian woman from the let's say the 1800s, standing in a garden. The first prompt should be a general description. And we're gonna, so again, thinking about how the AI thinks about this, if I say 4 prompts, now ChatGPT may understand this and actually list it just like it did down here with the numbers. Now, to be safe, I'm gonna say, give me a list of 4 prompts describing a beautiful Russian woman from the 1800s standing in a garden. The first prompt should be a general description of the image and general layout of, let's see, it's a general image content. Prompt 2, 3, and 4 should let's see, prompt 2 should be a 1-line description of her face, hair, hat. We might see if she wears a hat. Prompt 3 should be a 1-line description of her how would I describe it? Clothing, like blouse or shirt or coat. Prompt 4 should be a 1-line description of her dress or pants. Be creative for prompts 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so what, again, because I understand how the AI is going to work, what I'm telling is I want a general prompt. Prompt 1 should be just a general description of the image, because that's how the regional prompter works. You have to have a general description of the overall image. Prompts 2, 3, and 4 usually are just real short descriptions, like the color and type of clothing, or color, usually like some sort of an aesthetic that you want to include. It could be a full description, and I've done images where they're full descriptions of like, in fact, one image I described was a Old English town, and I split it vertically, so you had left, middle, and right. And what I did is on the left, it came up with a description for a tea shop, or like a little cafe for tea. The center one was a description of a like a stone archway, doorway, ancient, whatever. And then the third prompt for the right was like street cafes and shops with people. And when I rendered it out, it looked beautiful. I blended it all together and did a really good job of it. Here's the catcher. So we don't need to specify this, but I'm gonna try this anyway. Prompts 2, 3, and 4 should include the word break. I'm going to put this in quotes. at the end. The reason you put break, so the regional prompter requires, oh sorry, no, prompts 1, 2, and 3. Prompts 1, 2, and 3 should include the word break at the end. So the regional prompter requires that it has this variable or this break command at the end, so that it knows it has to move down to the next one, and then when it reaches the fourth prompt and sees that there's no break command, it knows to end the script. Okay, so let's save that. Let's go ahead and move on and see what this does. See if it actually does a good job with it. So it's going to do classic portrayal of a ravishing 19th century Russian lady positioned gracefully amidst an enchanting garden blooming with vibrant flowers and delicate foliage. Great, and it even included the break. Her face closed softly under the brim of the ornate hat, highlighted her sturdy eyes, delicate. Okay, so good. It is even it specifies the type of hat. Set with pearls and personal. That's awesome. So it didn't include artist. One of the problems I run into is sometimes it tries to include artist style in these second, third, and fourth prompts. And the deal blouse. Wow. Okay, so it did a great job this time. I love this. So it did not include a negative prompt because I didn't. I gave it some very specific instructions. Don't really feel like I need a negative prompt with this one, so we're going to grab this. Go over here. So the prompt generator did a fantastic job with this. I'm telling you, this is going to take a lot of burden off your shoulders if you use this. So we're going to put this up in the positive prompt. We're going to shut off. Let's see, do we still have the... no, I think we refreshed it. We're not enabled that script, so we're going to put this up in the positive prompts. We don't have to do anything with this. Like typically I'd have to come in here and either adjust the break commands or whatever. We're going to select the general prompt. We're not going to do anything else with it because I don't want to mess with the positive prompts. We're going to do this quick, so we're going to do 20 steps. Again, this is a portrait framing. We're going to leave everything else the same. We will restore faces on that, and let's do 4 of these. I want to see what it does. Pearl Precious. I want to say, I want to do something that will really highlight the fact that it's doing something different in each region. Jewel tone colors. I want to change the color. So detailed, we're going to say red blouse. And the one here, Safari, traditional, we're going to say, what's a good color that would be different than red? Maybe sky blue seraphon dress. I'm assuming that, I'm not sure exactly what that word is. So anyway, let's hit render on that and let's see what it does. I'll let it stay and just so we can all watch what it's going to do here. So something I don't like here is it's doing a very close-up portrait. Flower did look foliage. So we may need to change something to get that out there. But here's the thing. It did catch the red blouse. It's not doing the saffron dress here. Let's see. What did we got going on? Oh, use base prompt. Okay, let's try that again. Although you can look at this, and I mean these turned out really good. It's just not including the dress. So let's see if we can't get it to do that. Let's say instead of saying position, we're going to say standing. It gives the AI a little more context to indicate that she is standing somehow. Okay, so let's just hit render on that. Let's see what that does. There we go. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, we're getting a little bit more division here on that. So this top one looks like it's going to be the best one. It actually divided up the image properly. I mean, it did it on all of them. As you can see, in each region, you can see that there's red here, sky blue here, red here, sky blue here, and it's doing the division properly based upon the proportions that we're doing. So let's go to that first one. Yeah, wow, beautiful. So it gives you some pretty cool control over that. But here's the thing: this is something that makes this prompt generator amazing. Just the fact that you can specify that, and it'll go through and create that, giving you the descriptions you need in each of those, and then you can adjust as necessary. Like we could go in here. Well, I mean, I don't even know if I need to adjust anything on this. I mean, that's amazing. That looks really good. I mean, that's something you could totally upscale and add just phenomenal amount of detail. I'm going to do another tutorial on how to properly upscale and get that detail using in painting. You upscale once, in paint various areas, get the details. You need to upscale again, that kind of thing. So anyways, so this has just been a demonstration of the prompt generator, a little bit of a basic tutorial on the regional prompter. I wasn't really meaning to get into that, but it's a really good way to show off this prompt generator and what it can do. So again, thank you to those who have purchased this script, the prompt for ChatGPT. For those of you holding off because you're not paying for ChatGPT 4, it does work in ChatGPT 3.5. In fact, let's go in. I'm going to do one or two quick examples here, and show you what it does. So there's one I did, a couple I did actually, with the GPT 3.5. So let's just do a different one here. We're going to do a prompt for a large, intimidating wolf standing in a dark forest. Actually, no, we're going to do this. Wolf with red eyes standing in a dark, creepy forest next to a old, decrepit what we do old again, I'm not, my vernacular is not sufficient. Old, abandoned log cabin, very shadowy and rustic. Okay, so simple request. Let's go ahead and make that. And the cool thing about GPT-5, now it will be a lot more verbose. Okay, it will add some stuff to it, but it seems to do a very good job highlighting and emphasizing the proper things: old, decaying, dark fantasy, realism. It will be a lot more creative than the 4.0 model. 4.0 model tends to be a little, quite a bit more reasonable in that, but we're going to take this anyway because I know this is going to generate a very cool image. So let's come over here and we're going to get rid of all of this. Yeah, let's just, okay, let's just put that in there. Let's grab the negative prompt it generated as well, just to see how well it does. All right, we're going to get rid of this one over here and just run with what the AI generated. We're going to leave it at that. We're going to switch this over to a wide shot. So we're going to do 1024 this time. And we're also going to shift this, oops, not that, we want, yeah, 16 by 9 at that. I just want to see what it does. You know what? No, I do want the 1200. I really like 1200. Okay, sue me. I think it auto-adjusted the height. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's do 4 images on that. We don't need to restore faces. I am going to up this a little bit. I want it to have a little more freedom with that. We're going to shut off the regional prompter. We're not messing with that right now. And then hit generate. I'm not going to pause the video. I want everybody to watch this. So looks like we got one image with the wolf and the cabin in the background. The other ones don't look like it's including the wolf, so it may not have emphasized that as much, but let's just see what it does. I know, a lot of people, they stick with the original square ratio, 768 by 768 or 512 by 512. I find that the AI handles things fairly well, even when you push it outside those ranges. Okay, it does affect the image. Just as a side note here, you can affect what is in the image, how it lays the image out with the resolution. That is a tool that you can use to get what you want. Okay, so that's not bad. It's giving, what art style is this? Dark and muted, occasional hints of ominous, sinister hues, accentuated eerie ambience. Artwork draws and screen both realism and dark fantasy genres. Okay. Interesting. So you got this log cabin in the background. This wall is, there's definitely an artistic aesthetic to this that is drawing my eye to its face. It's so weird. Okay. No wolf here. Did do a kind of a cool cabin with the coloring. I love the coloring on that. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. There's no wolf, but man, look at the detail on that. That is beautiful. So I would probably change the prompts a little bit. Again, it did a great job. I think if, I don't know, let's just run this back. Let's just do one more rendering here. I want to drop that back to a 7 and see if it gives something a little different there. Holy crap. That's exactly what I wanted. I mean, you got this weird cabin in the background, but that's really cool. Got the red eyes. Definitely got that same artistic thing going on here. Let's get rid of that. Let's pull this out. I just want to see what the AI does with it. Like that's really cool. No wolf in that one. Again, this is why you render. We roll it a couple of times, see if we get something we want. The cabin in that is beautiful. I love the cabin in that one. There we go. So that's what we're looking for right there. This is interesting. This one's got a shadow of a person in the background, it looks like. Not that that's what we asked for, but this is AI. There we go. Look at that. Definitely gorgeous. I love that one. We're saving that one. Anyway, so that is what it is. Again, the prompt generator works great in 3.5 GPT and 4.0 GPT. The generator does come up with names. I've got it set to come up with 5 creative names. You can modify the prompt if you want to get rid of that. But I love it because sometimes I love just giving my artwork names. Again, I'm not the most creative person in the world. I don't know foreign languages, but I love the fact that it gives these. I've got it set to use a couple different languages to come up with really cool names. So have fun with it. Like I said, it's worth every penny. I did spend a lot of time on it to be able to get it to this point, and I've compared it against some of the other generators that you can get in the AI PRM, and this one blows them out of the water. So don't be afraid, get it. If you have questions on it, feel free to reach out to me on my Discord. Subscribe and like to my channel for more. We're going to be doing a lot more tutorials. I'm just gearing up for that. I was sick the last couple of weeks. And then my wife got sick, so I apologize if it looked like I had kind of abandoned the channel. I didn't. I love this. This is one of the things I love doing, and I love bringing this to you people. To my loyal fans. Anyway, I appreciate it. We'll talk to you all later. See ya.